You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, a handy device for pet care that doubles as a ticket to the emergency room. Also, it might be a character flaw, but maybe it's a talent. And some more uses for old, dead fish.
See this thing? I don't know what you call this. It's a dog.
Oh, the Furminator.
Thank you.
It's a pet thing. Explain what it does.
It rips out the undercoat.
Ripping
Gently-
out sounds pretty
gently
horrible.
takes out the undercoat
Yes.
for dogs and cats.
Yes.
And it's got it's very sharp, and it has razor blade points on it.
But the razor blade's supposed to be in. Okay. What our Furminator looks like is 2 rows of just regular round metal comb teeth, and then between them, so that you don't accidentally step on it or slit your finger off with it, is a little razor blade, so that what goes way down to the bottom of the coat is the blade.
This one here is a Furminator for cats.
I don't know about that.
The child was supposed to take a snip trip, spay and neuter, 25 kittens.
Okay.
About an hour before we were supposed to go pick up the U-Haul van and meet her sidekick, I hear screams outside.
Oh, dear.
She had left this Furminator on the step of her trailer and walked out and stepped with all her weight on it. And guess what the Furminator did?
It cut through to her undercoat.
So we spent the next 3 hours in urgent care.
How many stitches?
They glued it.
I can't think about it.
But yes, they had to glue it together. She had to get a tetanus shot. We couldn't find anybody else to drive. They didn't have our van again. They couldn't find a reservation. They said they had no reservation for us. By that point, I just wanted to Furminate myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I called Sue and I said, call and be mean to them. I just don't have the energy. All of a sudden, our van appeared out of nowhere.
It's good you have somebody in your life who can be mean. This is good. It's everybody needs a pit bull friend. I thought I was that person for you, but I guess not.
Well, I don't think that you wanted to talk to U-Haul in Flagstaff.
No, but I frequently get that job of being the human pit bull for friends.
I mean, I can turn on the pit bull when I have to, but as you know, I'm not a big fan of emergency rooms, blood, shots, or anything having to do with...
Yeah, blood is not a good one for you. And yet you had to drive your daughter with a towel around her foot all the way to the ER.
I actually put a bandage on it.
Really? Huh.
Which, of course, I did my best.
Speaking of being the friend who is nominated to be the pit bull, do you find sometimes that you have a skill that is actually, most people think, not a skill but a character flaw?
Yep. I can lie really, really well.
See?
I look straight into someone's eyes and tell a big fat lie. And if it's to my if it behooves me, or if it's good for does something good for me, I don't care. I have no angel on my shoulder.
Okay, so we're in the same category here, because one of my friends I felt was being a little bit manipulative a few weeks ago, and I called her out on it, and she said, "You're the most manipulative person I know." And I said, "No, I'm not." And then I thought about it, and I thought, yes, I am. I am the most manipulative person that most people know. And I will be manipulative if I feel that the cause is just, or if I really need something done and I don't want to do it any other way. So twice in the last week, I have put on my most manipulative persona. The first time, we have an alarm system here, which for a lot of people is just, one of those things you go, what the heck would you need an alarm system for? But we live in what is politely called a transitional neighborhood. And we in fact have shootings on the block. We have big gunfire exchange right in front of our house. And we've also had the occasional home, I believe they like to call it scarily in the police report, home invasion. I don't know if they call it a home invasion if you're home or if you're not. So we've been having some difficulty with the alarm system. A bunch of stuff just went wonky. I'm sure we could have dealt with it ourselves, but instead, I called up and manipulated the alarm company. I don't know. We've been really good clients and we did everything they told us to on the phone. It just didn't work. And well, we can send a tech out for a service call. Oh, but those are so expensive. And we've been your clients for so long. Like, I can waive the fee, but I'd like to talk to you about a regular service contract. Well, yes, I'll listen to that. Listen. I think we're just going to count on you the way we've always counted on you because your service is so flatter, flattery, more flattery. So that was manipulation number one.
Woo, that's good.
Free service call, everything working fine. Then we have a corner park, and it is an urban park, but they just fixed the athletic field and made it beautiful turf, and it's just being trashed regularly. So I go out there all the time and pick up literally dozens of plastic bottles. I'm not picking up cigarette butts. I just refuse, but I'm picking up a bunch of stuff. And I went into the swim for free because it's a big city and we don't want you robbing a liquor store swimming pool. First I come in and I noticed that at the beginning of the season, there was one guard. Now there is one guard watching the pool and 3 guards playing games on their phone in the room.
Nice.
And whereas after the first couple of days, they took away that buoy line that divides the shallow water from the deep water so people can swim laps during the adult swim. They just, they hadn't quite gotten it together to move that line.
Oh.
So it's, you have to do your flipper imitation. They call you flipper. You swim your lap, you dive under, you leap over. Right? Just swim your laps. I don't know.
You and I are probably the only ones that even know who flipper is.
I think I did a pretty good dolphin imitation. No, people know because there's Me TV now, so people know.
Oh, that's right.
They watch the vintage stuff. They know. And we're vintage. And if you're listening to this podcast, you might be vintage too. So one of our 2 listeners might also be vintage. So
vintage is a really nice way of putting it.
Stop it. Don't
yes,
choose. Just leave it alone. So I see that. Also, there is the garbage has historically meaning the last 2 weeks, been kept outside the crappy pool deck area, but I come in and there it's like one of those Chuck E. Cheese ball pits, only imagine Gatorade bottles where the balls should be. Just Gatorade bottles, lunch things. So I come in and I pick up a bunch of these and toss them in the waste bin, and I walk out to the 3 reclining guards and I ask if they would kindly move the lane so I can swim laps, the divider. And they say, well, it's not really lap swim. And I look at them with my most adult look and I say, I know that. Nevertheless. And they get up, and as the guy does it, I say, thank you. I know it's a little extra work, but that's really nice of you. And then I get out of the pool and they're still sitting on their butts, on their phones, visiting. I walk over and I say, do you need me to call the park director and ask for some extra help for cleaning? Because if cleaning's not your job, they're not sending you enough cleaning support. Look at this place. I've thrown away 3 Gatorade bottles and still there are Slurpee cups and old lunches and they're clearly not supporting you. So I'd be happy to call the park director and ask for some help for you. And they look at me. And they kind of go, well, it's our job. Oh, I say, it is? And I don't mind looking stupid if it gets me what I want. Okay, then, I say, I'll help you clean.
Aww.
So they all got up out of their chairs and we cleaned together. But again, very manipulative.
Well, I'm more of the liar who would say, don't I know your mother? And I would threaten to call their moms, having no idea who their moms were, and just make up a phone number and start messing on my phone so that they would think that I really did know their moms. Because, yes, I am a big fat liar who lies.
Well, that's the difference between living in a small town. The odds of me knowing any of their mothers are slim.
This is a small town. As I was taking my daughter to urgent care yesterday, I freaking had to dodge cows standing in the road.
They don't know enough to get out of the
Cows.
way when
No.
when the Mars lights go on. They don't know
And I'm
that.
like, I'm in a hurry, cows. And yeah, they don't move when you blow the horn. You can't really go around them because they're everywhere. This is cow season, I guess, in northern Arizona.
What is cow
And
season?
it's a free range state, so the cows can go anywhere they want. And as a property owner, it's up to you to put up fencing or barriers to keep the cows out of your property
How
or
cool is
yard. Or
that?
so yes, so they're everywhere. They're standing in the roads. All of a sudden, you'll turn a curve and there's cows, or you'll come up to a stoplight and cows come walking across the road.
At a
So
stoplight?
it's cow season as opposed to beef season, which is when you don't see the cows.
So if you do hit the cow, can you keep it as a prize?
I don't know. If I hit a cow in my little car, I don't. I think the prize would probably be, I'm still breathing.
What about in Clifford, the big red truck? If you hit a cow in Clifford, you'd probably live, and the cow would probably not.
Oh, and my husband would kill me for Denton Clifford. Are you kidding me?
But not if you had steak dinner for like
It's-
months.
Some things are more important than beef.
Okay, good to
Clifford
know.
would be one of them.
Good to know. More
Yes. Yep.
there's a slogan. More important than
Important than
beef.
beef.
How does Clifford smell now after transporting 21 car sick cats?
Actually, a little Febreze and some open windows, and you can't even tell.
Wow. I get a lot of crap from my friends for having the minivan that was basically the rolling dog kennel for years and years and years. They still say, smells a little doggy in here. I'm thinking now about when you have a car that's really old, and I don't know where, there comes a point where you stop worrying about what it looks like or smells like. And I don't,
That's true.
I
I've
wish,
had some of those.
I wish I knew. I think my car began to go, I think of it as kind of like a curve. When you get the car and it's new, you attend to everything, and then slowly you attend to only the big things, and then eventually you hit the top of the curve where it really has to be catastrophic for you to attend to it. And then on the way down, you just don't, it could be catastrophic and you might attend to it until you get to the bottom. And as long as it still runs and won't kill anybody, you just leave it alone. The point where I started to come down the other side was the big cutie had a party, and we did like a Mexican style thing, and I had a whole tray of black beans and it sloshed. And if you want to know what really is malodorous, it's fermenting, rotting black beans. And I shampooed that thing maybe 17 times and coated it. It looked like Antarctica. It looked like March of the Penguins in the back of the minivan with baking soda. I covered it with like a 40-pound bag of Costco baking soda, and still it's never quite been the same. And I think that signaled the beginning of the end for the mommy van.
I know when I was younger and cared more about what people thought and was more into exacting revenge rather than just leaving people I don't like alone. More than one dead fish ended up underneath somebody's back seat.
No.
Yeah,
You
we
put
used to do
dead
that.
fish underneath people's back seats?
Only if they deserved it.
Like a guppy or a goldfish or
No,
like a carp or what?
a nasty big old fish that you go and buy at the grocery store
Wait, you took the
and
trouble of
say,
buying fish at the grocery store to stick under somebody's back seat?
more than one.
A bunch
Somebody.
of dead fish? Okay, what was the sin
No,
that was so
just
egregious?
people just I don't even remember. That's the thing. That's why I don't care anymore. I don't even remember.
Can you get the smell of a dead fish out of a car? This
Well,
would
I
have
don't know. I didn't clean it up. It's it's kind of like, I mean, it's not egging a car, which permanently damages the car.
Does it?
Yeah, it messes up the paint.
Oh, who knew?
Just like if somebody like eggs your house, it will mess up your paint, and then you got to go track them down and call their moms.
Which you've
For
already
real.
explained. Yeah, you know how to
Yes,
do.
yes,
Which you know how to do.
right. It was always boys. I know that. Boys always, young boys always deserve bad stuff. As a mother of sons, I say.
And at the time, as a
I
teenage
do.
girl, you would say, the poor young
Yes.
boys, they just catch it coming and going, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They have a hard time.
They
no,
do.
no wonder they grow up to be so difficult. They never are sure who left the dead fish.
Dead fish under their back seat.
They spend a
Their
lifetime
Camaro.
wondering. If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast, in which case you might also like my book, She Said What, A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marcy and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.